I kick myself for not getting a Quest 3 sooner. Now, I've always been a fan of VR ever since the PlayStation VR was released. And then when the Quest 3 came out, I was like, I'm already good with the Quest 2. I don't really know if I need this upgrade yet. You know, I think it was Gamertag VR, who's another great YouTube channel, by the way. If you're looking for VR content, check that channel out. It's the best. One of the best. He said it best, where the upgrade to VR isn't the same as an upgrade to system. You know, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, they're kind of their own thing. Maybe a little bit backwards compatible, but for the most part, their own thing. You gotta figure VR is more like a phone upgrade. I happen to use a Google Pixel, so it's like going from, you know, Pixel 6 to Pixel 7 to Pixel 8. Kind of the same thing, just better upgrade, more you can do with it, and then more you can do with the newer ones that maybe you couldn't quite do with the other ones. So when Quest 3 was announced, I was like, it's cool, I get it, but I don't need to jump at it and just grab it immediately. I'm still playing my Quest 2 all the time. Until I saw the mixed reality. And the mixed reality, to me, was the system seller. Well, it blends like your own place with the video games. And it was such a trip. So if you haven't jumped on the Quest 3 bandwagon yet, here are 5 experiences that are mixed reality. And the beautiful thing for full immersion is my Quest 3 has prescription lenses. Very important for me, who wears glasses and don't want them all smushed up and crunching my face and stuff like that. These little prescription glasses, these are from VR Wave, by the way. Got a link to them in the description below. If you're a glasses wearer like I am, because of that, the glasses don't quite fit the frame. But these are just, to me, it's a mandatory must-have. I'd rather have these than have like a new head strap. That's how important VR prescription lenses are to me. And VR Wave has been doing it longer than anyone else that I know of. I've celebrated VR Wave for my Quest 1, Quest 2, Quest 3, PSVR, PSVR 2. And you saw how easy that was too. It's just the quick, you know, like if my kid's gonna play it, there you go. If I'm gonna play it, I can pop them right back on, just like that. Magnetic, love it. If you do happen to get one, buy one from wherever. I have a link to Amazon, but you can buy one wherever you want. Just activate your name with my referral link. Because when you do, you're gonna start off with cash in your credit that you can use online to buy games with. Now, if you have someone who has never experienced VR in their life, Ocean Rift is the best possible first experience, I think, you could give someone for that VR experience. And twofold as well. Now, let's talk about mixed reality, but all the experiences that you see on here, you don't need the pass-through. You don't need to do, you can just play it, you know, just as is, too. And Ocean's Rift, well, you're just swimming around in the ocean, looking at these animals and learning more about them. But the mixed reality feature blew my mind. And you don't need to use a controller, it's not a video game, it's just an experience. You have your room tracking, this is your room. Now this is literally just an empty office I have at work. And you set up the windows. And when you do that, those become the windows to your, you know, it's like you're underground, like you're underwater. You're in your little underwater pod. And that's when you're just kind of looking around. And you know, you can pull up other things too, like, you know, different types of depths, different types of water experiences. Whenever someone has never experienced VR before, and especially mixed reality, this is the first thing you can show them. And you're like, oh, wow, I get it. I'm literally in this room, I'm in my living room, I'm in the bathroom. But it's all around you, and you don't need to touch anything or do anything. There's some interactivity a little bit you can do, but it's just the fact that it's there. It's so cool. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit more video game-y, Drop Dead: The Cabin is another wonderful experience. And again, the game itself is pretty fun too, but the mixed reality mode, to me, that's the best part. Because when you have your room, you set your window and you set the door. And now it just becomes a guard yourself because all these zombies are going to start coming in here. And you're in this room all by yourself, but you have your gun and you have your, you know, people trying to come in there, and more upgrades will happen, you know, the longer you last and everything. It looks pretty creepy when you're in your own, like, living room, for instance, and then all of a sudden a zombie just kind of, like, tumbles through the window and then they're in the room with you. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And again, just a fun experience. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is the best. Now, I haven't done a lot with this Lego one yet because I've been too busy playing other stuff. But I definitely wanted to look at it even just for a moment, because you have your Lego land, and it's a little bit like a platformer. So a little platformy or so, but then you get to manipulate the land around you. So you get to, like, look around and see where you're going. So you have your little area, and that's what you're playing around in a Lego universe. I'm going to spend more time with this game. I'm sure there's already a ton of videos out there. There are so many great VR YouTubers who are out there, and I can name off several of them for sure. I'm sure they have covered this game, but it was really cool to see just kind of floating right in this room. One of my original favorite VR experiences, Richies Plank experience, now has a mixed reality mode as well. Now this was a viral thing for a while there, like, you know, walk on the plank and don't fall off and everything. But the fact that the elevator is literally in your living room, or literally in whatever room, and you can set the plank too. So like you can put the plank wherever you want it, you can set it, you know, high or as long as you want. So if you have an actual 2x4, put that on the ground and then set it up so that's where the plank is. That's the best part of this game. Now you don't need a 2x4 to walk on, but it certainly adds to the element. Now when you're, you know, off on the plank and everything, it's just it's your city, that's your VR, or the like the canyon is a DLC. The idea that, like, you know, again, when you go back in your elevator and come out, oh, you're back on the ground and you're back in your room. So it's, you know, kind of like Willy Wonka's elevator. It just seems fun. You can just go in there and then all of a sudden, hey, you're in a different place. I need more time with this game as well. Please don't touch anything. Housebroken. In your room is this launch pad, and there's like buttons you can click and press and do things with, and if you hit the wrong thing, then maybe the bomb will go off. Again, I'm still trying to figure this game out, but again, it's one of those kind of coolness to see it in your own room. Then all of a sudden, you know, the wall gives out, and you see chaos and devastation. Lovely, you caused that. Great. And a couple of bonuses. There is a mixed reality mode to this. I'm not going to show you that in this video, but Samba de Amigo in VR. It's Samba de Amigo in VR. What more do you need to know? Now, instead of it being in this room, you can have it literally in your living room, which is cool. And the fact that you can upgrade your character too, it's like, oh, well, you know, you can get your upgrades. So instead of having, you know, maracas or your little sidekick there, change those up, do what you need to do with them. You know which one I'm choosing. I really, really love this game. And the fact that it's on Quest 3 in VR, and there is a mixed reality mode too. There's a few games that have that MR mode that will put the game itself in your living room. Pretty fun to see. And this one is not mixed reality. I'm just going to give a quick shout out to TRX VR, just because it just looks kind of cool. You're just, you know, you're in a field. You're not, again, another one of those VR experiences. You're not battling monsters. You're not flying around or zipping around corners. You're just in a peaceful meadow. You're in, you know, Jurassic Park or something like that, and kind of creating these, you know, making the sun shine, making it rain, making, you know, just whatever. Making the trees grow, making rocks grow. I don't know. I just thought it looked pretty cool. I'll just add this as a bonus. It has nothing to do with the rest of the video, but just thought I'd at least give it a shout out. I still completely understand that VR is not for everyone. If you happen to be at a convention, or maybe there's a place in town that you can experience VR for yourself before you purchase it, because these are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. They are not cheap. However, give it a shot, and because you always hear about people who have like motion sickness and things like that. There have been one, maybe two games that I've suffered from motion sickness, but those aside, I just don't play those games anymore. I play all the cool games. Yeah, I love it. I'm a huge fan, and you should check it out for yourself, I'm telling you. I'm going to keep an eye out for more VR experiences, and when cool things come around, I will make sure to pass them off onto you. I am still using the default strap. That's good enough for me. I know there's some great straps out there, as well as battery life, because this thing does drain the battery. Your touch controllers require batteries unless you get a type of charger that charges the headset and the batteries. I have one. I just found one cheap on Amazon, but another thing to keep in mind, right?